Yeah, so I'm currently working as a product manager in a SaaS B2B SaaS company called Taggbox. So I joined around March 2023. That's almost 1.5 years since I've joined as a product manager. My roles and responsibility are mostly aligned around managing the cross-functional team. I handle the design team, I handle the engineering team, the QAs, and different aspects of the entire product life cycle. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Defining the roadmap, what we are going to build for the next few quarters, what we have built, right? Looking at the metrics, the success metrics for whatever development that we have done so far. So yeah, pretty much around that. Strategizing for the next few quarters and looking back at the last few months as well. That's pretty much what I do. So before joining as a product manager, I was working as a product implementation lead. So not exactly into product management, but there is some part which overlaps between both these roles. So that's how I got introduced into product management. I got a chance to work with different product managers, and that's when I started reading into what this role is about, what are the responsibilities around it. So that was how I was introduced to it, and then I started searching more around how I can learn more about this field, how I can transition myself into a product implementation lead to a product manager role. And that's when I got to know about Accredian. So yeah, I think one of the few like some of the major challenges that I faced was whatever you read on the internet is very limited or very high level about the role. But when you are actually working as a product manager, there are a lot more things. There are many layers involved to it, and I think just by going through the surface or searching on the internet, it's very little that you can grasp. So I think going deeper into that role, that domain, was something that was a bit challenging in the beginning. As I said, I think when you actually work as a product manager, there are a lot more things that you get to know, and that's what I got to know during the course when I enrolled. In the beginning itself, and I think some of the mentors that were present were part of a very a few large organizations in the product space. So I think to be able to learn from them, and then the entire class having people from different domains, different industries, at different levels of their experiences and their careers, you get to know a lot more different perspective from different industries. So I think that's something that helped me a lot in my career, so I've always been inclined towards having my own startup in the future. So I think product management is more of a middle step if you are trying to build your own startup in the future, because as a product manager you get to take the entire ownership of the product, right? So I think from my long-term career plan, product management has definitely helped me. Just from the overall leadership perspective, or just from the overall business skills or the product strategy perspective that I gained has been, I think, what I've been looking for basically in my long-term career as well. So it started with a technical questionnaire round, basically a test for around, I think, 120 minutes. It was there, so I had to submit that. It had different sections, some around quant aptitude, and then some sections around product management, or a few were around technical part as well, but mostly around product management and how you can lead a team of different backgrounds, right? Engineering, design, marketing, all of those teams. So that was the first round, and I think so I basically had a combination of two things: some practical knowledge from my past company, and then the theoretical knowledge that I got to gain through Accredian. So a combination of both definitely helped me crack the technical round as well as the interview round. And I think in the interview round, they mainly asked questions around some of the case studies, right? If I'm in a position where I'm leading a product team or I'm part of a product team, and then there is a situation right? If you're trying to improve maybe certain numbers, certain metrics is around signups or around conversion, around analytics. So all of those case studies we discussed a few, and then something around leadership, right? What's my tech stack? How many people I've managed in my previous experience. So yeah, combination of both. Some technical questions, some practical, some around soft skills, some around hard skills, and then a few word around the tools that I get to use in my product management role. That were not asked in the interview, but were part of the test, the online test that I had to give. So there were some questions around certain tools, right? Jira, Zoho, Figma, all of these tools. There were some questions around that as well. So I think a couple of things that I really liked, and I've also like whoever has asked me about the feedback of this course, I've told them the same thing. A couple of things that I really liked was the mentors that were there. They were some of the highly experienced professionals in their product management career. I remember Shailen, who started the course, who was the VP of product management in Spinny, I think, and then some folks from Google, Microsoft as well. So I think having highly experienced mentor is something that you want to learn from, and you directly get a chance to interact with them, ask your questions, ask your practical case studies as well, right? Because it's a small class of 30-35 people, so you can really ask your questions without really thinking about the time or the one-on-one experience. And then second thing I really liked was the people who were part of the course along with me. They came from different industries with different backgrounds, and some were like highly experienced, having 10-15 years of experience as well, and some were really young also, and then I was somewhere in the middle, right? So having this diverse experience and diverse industry background as well, everyone was sharing their own insights, their own point of view, and then I also get to share that. So being a part of this discussion, I think it's not really a class, it's more of a discussion between a group of individuals who are really looking to transition into a product management role, and I think these are the two things that I really liked about this course. I think anyone who is looking to transition, there are two things. You have to focus on theory and then not focus too much on the theory itself. You have to think of some practical use cases, think of the actual real world scenarios, actual user perspective, right? If you're working in a B2B, or if you're like targeting a B2B space or B2C space, the target audience changes like drastically. So think from the real world scenarios, think from the user's perspective, what would a user do, or what would a user think, their user journey, their user behaviors. That's what you need to focus on, and then theory obviously helps. You need to know at least some basic knowledge about the tools that are usually used, tools like Jira or Figma. You have to have some basic knowledge. You don't really need to have like the extensive experience, because when you actually get to work, you obviously start building up around the experience and skills. But you still need to have some basic knowledge around the tools, around the technical part of this, around the documentation or the process, right? The agile methodology that's quite popular in today's time. So I think you have to know about the theory, you have to know about the process, but it's also very important to think of the practical use cases in the real world scenario.